Well, I'm sitting here on anchor in Charleston. It is, what day is it? It's Wednesday now. Got in Monday morning, 3 a.m. Slept till 7 and then had to get up, and it's basically been work ever since. So we did finish out the trip safely. Got John off to the airport on Tuesday, yesterday. And it was a tough trip. What you'll see in the next few minutes of footage was me specifically frustrated with the failure to materialize of a wind shift that was forecasted, and I'd gotten subsequent forecasts, and basically it kept saying it was going to come. It was like, it'll be here in 10 minutes. It'll be here. Well, it never really materialized until we were coming into Charleston at 2 a.m. It was interesting and a little dicey coming into a place I'd never been in the dark too. There was dredging operations going on in the middle of the night, and other boats and stuff like that. So that was a challenge. And probably doubly so when you're so sleep deprived after what we thought was going to be 40 hours worth of sailing ended up being 47 hours worth of sailing. We ended up going 60 miles further than this point to point distance. So that's the recap, and we made it fine, and I'm glad we're here in Charleston. Well, it's 3:50 a.m. and we are up, and John and I are starting our passage down to Charleston. Wind is still out of the west and blowing at about 15, and it's been doing, actually it's moderated. It was very high earlier. Yesterday it was blowing 30, so it's moderated, and it's scheduled forecasted to go down a little bit more. The passage to Charleston is about 210 miles. Leaving now should get us to Charleston by tomorrow night, Sunday night. Now it's 5:30 a.m. and we're motor sailing. We navigated out of the harbor, and we're out here. It's a little bit rough. As I think I'd mentioned, it's been really windy the last few days, so big waves out here. But we're doing fine. Just under motor, Genoa, and Stason. So making progress 7 knots down the road. As you can probably hear, we are still motor sailing. It's blowing over 20 out, but we tried it without motor, and we can only get about 3.5 knots into these seas. So we need the motor to help kind of push us forward. We're pretty much close hauled. All the sails are trimmed in tightly. I have the second reef in the main, which is really not slowing us down, but is letting us out a little bit. So, yeah, that's the situation. We got John behind me driving. He's on watch still. It's about 2:30 or so, and I come on at 4. So I got a little rack time between noon and 2. And now we're just trying to make our way down the road. Well, we're motor sailing. It's about 20 of 9. I'm on watch now. There isn't a whole lot of wind, so we have full main and full Genoa and the staysail up. It's pretty rough out. The last few days of gales have really built the seas, which that made seasickness an issue for me. First day out, often the case for me. So I just suffer through it and, deal with it. The good news is we're making really good time. Motor sailing at almost 7 knots. So it'd be great to, get into Charleston before dark on Sunday if possible. So, yeah, so far so good. I don't know, we're about 25 miles into this trip. And the total I think is going to be 215 or 217 or something like that. It's really kind of a bummer when the forecast is this wrong, but by now we were supposed to have winds from 270 and we're getting winds from 250, which is, you can see from our course, really screwing us up. But it is what it is. We're gonna make it by tomorrow. Also on this tack with this wind, with where I put my wind sensor, it underreads. It's by by a significant amount. So 5 or 10 knots. So we've been pretty consistently 20 knots here. So yeah, it's kind of nautical out here tonight. This afternoon. It's pretty night. But man, are we just getting thrown around into the wind. Not a whole lot of sails up. I have 2 reefs in the main, and everything else is shortened down. Yeah, we're seeing, it's 30, which is above the forecast, and from a direction that it wasn't really forecast. So, I guess they win some and they lose some. Fortunately, we're on the wrong end of this stick. Well, I got myself a cup of tea anyway. So, it's the small things, the small pleasures in life as we're out here getting pounded by these waves. Cheers. Let's see if we can see them, but there's some dolphins in our wake. They're little porpoises. And that's company. Where they went. Well, hopefully I caught that a little bit. John's serving up the curry that I made last couple of days. We're looking forward to this. Yummy chicken curry. I don't think there'll be too much footage of us eating it though. Well, good morning. It's Sunday morning. Happy Halloween to everybody. We are out here in absolutely just dreadful conditions. The wind shift never really happened. It's still kind of blowing. I guess it's blowing out of the west, but we're not making good time at all in this. It's rough. We're into the wind. The wind's blowing 20 to 25. Waves are big and we're slow. Not sure we'll make it by this evening unless we get the forecast to shift. I guess we'll have to see what happens. We may end up sailing at least till the wee hours in the morning to get in to Charleston. So the plan is to drop an anchor when we get there anyway, and then we'll figure out a slip in the morning. So anyway, that's the update from this part of the world. sunfish. That's kind of cool. Well, to quote John Mayer, we are now waiting on the wind to shift. I had checked the forecast, many times last week, and it was definitely forecast to come around to the northwest well before now. I've downloaded a couple additional forecasts onto my Garmin InReach over satellite, and they keep pushing that wind shift back. So now, not till 8 o'clock tonight maybe. So we're gonna fight these conditions, which are, well, the wind is coming from exactly where we want to go. And it's coming at, 20 to 30 knots. Sans Sousie's doing great. We're motoring because it really helps to keep the speed up through this chop. We don't get those, crashes into the waves that stop us. I mean, we do, but then the motor helps to push us through that. So I'm going to burn a little fuel, or as Maz says on Sail Life, some dinosaur squeezings to get us where we need to go. ETA right now is 3 a.m., which sucks because I got to work tomorrow and have some stuff too. So we're just gonna gut it out. We're right now. I tacked us again. We're on a port tack now. Heading sort of north. We're going 310. So that's I guess northwest. And we're going to tuck in closer to the land. My theory being that the waves will be knocked down, but they won't have had time to have built so much, and we should get maybe an extra knot of speed or so from that. So, but until we get there, which looks to be 20 miles or so before it flattens out, which in Sans Souci time, that's 3.5 hours. So, alright, that's where we're at for now. Well, all you can be is resigned to your lot in life, I guess. And ours is that we ended up covering way more ground than we thought we were going to. We all have. We still got 58 miles to our destination. Don't know how much ground we'll have to cover to get there. So, we're motoring. I pushed the engine up as high as I dare. We're gonna get in at about 3 or 4 in the morning, and that'll be on my midnight to 4 a.m. watch, I guess. And we'll sleep at anchor for a while, and then we'll get a slip. So, yeah. Well, it's frustrating, but I guess it's how it goes when you're on a schedule. So, I should say it's generally not really good to sail on a schedule. It may cause one to make decisions that you don't want to make, such as leaving with headwinds and that kind of stuff. So, I guess that's a theme on this cruise down. And I have one more trip from Charleston to St. Augustine. So I guess we'll see. I have Sylvia for crew on that, and I guess we'll see what we decide. If it looks terrible for getting all the way, we're gonna rethink things and we'll plan an intermediate stop or something. Well, we got our wind shift right at sunset, and we're finally aiming right at Charleston. So right now, as you can see from here, 2:58 in the morning or so. which will be on my next watch. So I'm on watch now at 6:44 p.m. for another hour and 15 minutes. And I'll sleep for 4 hours, and then we'll make it into the harbor and drop the hook and sleep for a little bit. And anyway, we're running, back the engine off a little bit because we're getting pretty good speed here, over 6 knots. And I got the full main up and the station. But we're pointing too high there, so down low. John's down below, heating up. We're gonna have the same food again. Neither of us could finish our food last night. It was too much, so we're having that again. It's curry. Well, it's the final stretch into Charleston. Just came on watch a little bit ago. We should be dropping the anchor before 3. We have about 16 miles to go. Yeah, so end of a pretty long couple of days, but the weather's good for now, and I'll give a little report later. Thanks for watching. The next trip is the weekend after next, the weekend of the 13th, 14th. Going to go to St. Augustine, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So Sylvia will be my crew, and if the weather is unfavorable, I'm going to just, maybe we'll go to Beaufort one night, and we'll go to I don't know, Savannah, Tybee Island, something like that. We don't have to go all the way. I'll get the boat to St. Augustine eventually. So anyway, like I said, thanks again for watching. See you next time.